Life Path 6, welcome to my channel. This is Lotus Magic. Tonight I'm bringing you your 2019 forecast reading. And I'm doing these readings a little different because I wanted to bring a different aspect to my readings. There are a lot of astrological readings on YouTube. So I just wanted to offer a different perspective. I love numerology. It's very practical, simple, and you can definitely manipulate a lot of the energy around you simply by using numbers. And I feel like your numerical vibration is very strong and simple to understand, whereas astrology is much more complex. There are so many parts of us that make up our astrological profile that sometimes we um, limit our messages that we need to receive simply by just looking at our sun sign. There's so many aspects to us. We're actually all 12 signs. However, some signs, depending on the houses and the planets and the placements and things like that, are just more dominant in our life, in our life path. So I like numerology because, like I said, it's practical, easy to understand, and um, offers a lot of insight as well. So if you are a life past 6, your birthday adds up to a 15, 24, 33, 42, 51, so on and so on, 60, so on and so on. So depending on the combination of vibrations that make your life path number, there are definitely 6. Just because you're a life path 6 doesn't mean you're like every life path 6, because if you're a 15, you have a different vibration combination than a 33 or a 42. So definitely, if you're interested, take a look at the 3 videos, the 2 numbers that make up your vibration, and then your actual life path. So if you're a 15, you might want to also look at Life Path 1 and Life Path 5 video and Life Path 6, just to get a more broader perspective on the energies that you might be dealing with, the themes that you might be dealing with in this year. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with this reading. And I just want to say, for those people who tune in who really don't care for the cards to be pre-shuffled, I don't do that because my shuffling process can be a little lengthy, simply because I don't pull cards. I only take the cards that Spirit gives to me, not the ones that I pick. And I feel like because I do that, my readings are much more accurate. And so sometimes I can just take a little minute. Plus, when I'm done, I also like to really study the story that my cards are trying to say. And when you're trying to shuffle and do all that on camera, you tend to just get rushed right into the story. And maybe that's just me being somewhat of an amateur. I don't know. It's just I do what's comfortable for me. All I'm saying is, you have to trust your intuition with whoever's video that you're watching, whether they shuffle on camera or not. Just because someone shuffles on camera doesn't mean that it's definitely more accurate of a reading for you. So you have to trust yourself. I know that I trust myself, and I trust the integrity of the readings that I do. So I'm not worried about, if people feel like, I'm just making up a story. I mean, that would just take too much time to come up with a card combination that makes a perfect story. And because my readings are about healing, I'm really not necessarily a fluff reader. So everything I say isn't just about telling you what all the good and great and things that you're going to look forward to this year. So anyway, I'm not going to go on too much about that. Just trust yourself, and if it resonates, the message is for you. If it doesn't, it's not because I didn't shuffle on camera. It's really just because the message doesn't apply to you. All right. So your oracle guidance message, Life Path 6, comes from both the goddess of nature and the angel of addiction healing. You reap what you sow. Your dream is coming to fruition. This is a time of positive transformation and healing. So I feel like a lot of Life Path 6 in the collective have been um, dealing with addictions, and possibly even going through somewhat of a somber time in their lives. And because of this somberness, it's fueling any addictions that you might have. Okay, I also feel like Life Path 6, you're surrounding yourself with people who don't help you keep a good high vibration. So you definitely need to really start looking at the people that you're surrounded by, because it's possible that they're helping to fuel your addictions, either because they trigger you or they enable you. But it's time to focus on reaping good seeds, reaping the seeds that you want to bring into fruition. And I feel like even if you've been struggling in the past and you've kind of got to hang on your addictions and things, because you're doing the work, you're definitely going to reap what you've sown in terms of healing and transforming your life. Okay, so it could be that you have gotten past the addictions, or made a great stride, but still there's some dibbling and dabbling back and forth into your addictions. But I feel like that's more or less because of triggers. So you're going to have to work really hard this year on removing any triggers in your life that um, pull you back into any form of addictions. Now, addictions are not just drugs, they're not just alcohol. Addictions can be sex, it can be shopping, it could be eating. It just can be any form of like compulsive kind of behavior that you rely on as a crutch in times of stress and worry, pain, and sadness. Okay. So you need to find some more positive outlets so that you're not falling back into the addictions because they're not serving you. And you need to pay attention to those you have around you and be honest with yourself when you are dealing with people, and whether or not they are good for your frequency and good for the growth and transformation that you are trying to maintain. Where you need to focus your energy for 2019 is on love and domestic harmony. So I feel like for many Life Path 6, these addictions and negative vibrations and things have really been affecting your home life, because and I say it's amazing how these cards just tell a story, which is why I really like to sit with my cards and just collaborate with spirit and get a true message. Because Life Path 6 are the servers of the numerology um, makeup. And so home is definitely your major responsibility. So you have a lot of responsibilities as a person. And your life path here is to serve others. However, when you're not in a high vibration, sometimes you can become too self-sacrificing, and then you're overwhelmed with the responsibilities. Like when you get overwhelmed with responsibilities, it tends to make you fall into this like addiction. Now I have a son who is my oldest child and a Life Path 6, and he does have a lot of responsibilities, and he's very mature and capable of handling them. No, baby, I'm almost done. He's very capable and mature of handling them, but sometimes I have to remember that he's 10 and it can be overwhelming because he has a brother and a sister and it's just us. And so sometimes I feel like he's overwhelmed. And when he gets like that, he goes on sugar binges, okay? Um, and his behavior can get really negative. So I have to sometimes remember to give him a break, give him extra treats just to kind of help him see that he's not just here to be, self-sacrificing for this family. So I feel like that's what's going on. And because of that, it's creating some instability in the household. It could be financial because whatever your addictions are, it could be costing financially, because you're using your resources to fuel your addictions, um, to pour yourself some love. And with life past six, you're so busy loving and loving other people that you forget that you have to love yourself. So you do this by, especially when you're in a low vibration, you do this by fueling your addictions instead of fueling, and just loving yourself properly. So this year you're going to have to really focus on, as you're healing and transforming, bringing some domestic harmony back into the home. And you're going to do this by focusing your energy on continuously being in the highest state of love. And you're also going to do this by giving yourself self-love, because before you can truly love anybody else, family, friends, lovers, whatever, you have to be um full. Your cup of love has to be full, and that means that you're only able to give from a cup overfloweth. Okay, if your cup is dry of self-love, you have nothing to give. And so this causes a discord, because now you're looking at all your responsibilities as burdens and not a blessing to be able to love your family. Okay, so um you're going to need to focus your energy on keeping yourself in a highest state of love, and that starts with yourself, and pouring lots of self-love onto you. And then you're going to notice that when you're in that vibration, that's what you're going to receive. Okay, and that love, and I feel like this is where it's saying, sowing seeds of love, and that's what you're going to reap. Okay, so if there's any discord, understand that it's a situation where your environment is reflecting you. And so if you want the environment in your home to change, you're going to need to change your vibration, especially because you may be that um figurehead in your family, and kind of like your family's rock. And when you're not on board and on course and in that good vibration, it affects the whole family. And I know for my son to be 10, when he's in that mode, he can definitely wipe us all out with his negative vibration. Like, he can take it there, and he just changes the whole mood. It was starting to affect his school. Even in classrooms, he could change the whole vibration of his whole class because he wasn't in a high vibration. So be mindful of, keeping your vibration intact and putting yourself first. It's okay to put yourself first, but in a high vibratory way. And that's focusing on self-care and self-love. And don't be afraid to express when you're overwhelmed and overburdened, instead of keeping it all in and then trying to make yourself feel better with toxic behavior that you do to yourself. And also keep in mind your triggers. Pay attention to what's triggering you in your environment, possibly most likely in your home, friends, those that are close to you. And don't be afraid to express that um, need for space from people are not who are triggering you to lower your vibration. Your healing insight message comes from citrine. It's the stone of abundance. Okay, true abundance comes from within. If you nurture your desires, you will bring joy to your wise child self. So it's definitely reaffirming that need for self-love, and bringing some abundance of love to yourself, and then that you will have more than enough love to share with others. Okay, you can't give from a cup that's dry. Okay, take time out for joyful play. Heal the damaged child. And a lot of you may be needing to heal some childhood stuff. And like I said, if you're a life path 6, even as a child, you probably bore a lot of responsibility, and you might be angry about it. I know sometimes my son definitely goes through that, where he's like, these are your children. I don't know why I have to look out for them. I don't know why I have to do all this. Why do I have to, I know sometimes he gets angry, which is why I tried my best to reward him and let him know that he's appreciated. So perhaps you guys are dealing with just not feeling really appreciated, and it's making you almost turn into a selfish person. Okay. And it's not that you're selfish, because life past six are probably the least selfish people. It's just that you're tired and overwhelmed and you need some self-love. Okay. You need to take some time out to enjoy life on your terms, in your way, without all of the burden of the responsibilities. Okay, your thoughts on the bigger picture are correct. If there is family discord, harmony is restored through praise. So again, I feel like just with that saying, that it's just confirmed what I said about the lack of appreciation. I feel like a lot of you just aren't feeling appreciated, and it's making you sad and it's making you hurt. And you have every right to feel that way. However, the way you go about it may be a little selfish. So instead of expressing it, because I know for life past six, you tend to hold a lot in, express that. Let people know that you don't feel appreciated, instead of holding it all in and then trying to self-medicate on toxic behaviors to make yourself feel good for the moment. Okay. And when you do that and you start to allow people to see the part that they're playing in the discord, which is, hey, I just don't feel appreciated. I do a lot. I take care of us. And I just don't feel appreciated. You'd be surprised how people say, you know what? You're right. And let me take time to show you some appreciation. Okay. Just don't do it. Don't expect it if you're going into these modes of selfishness and I don't want to do anything for anybody, and you're angry and mad and sad and everything, because remember, your presence and energy is extremely important in the flow of your home. And so you need to teach everyone how to behave, teach people how to treat you, and you can't do that when you shut down. So definitely understand that regardless of what's going on, you are blessed. You have a lot of love around you. Regardless if there's some, discord right now, you are still very much loved by your family, and they need you. So they need you to get these toxic behaviors under control and get back to a state of love. All right, your next healing insight message comes from Ancestralite. And this is like the ancestors crystal. And when this comes up, that means that you need to really go back and look at how a lot of your coping mechanisms have come from your ancestral line, and you need to heal that. Like I said, again, going back and doing some healing of your childhood wounds, because a lot of what may be going on maybe now, maybe triggering some of the things that you harbored as a child, in terms of having, burdens and responsibilities, and, to the point where you might not have felt like you enjoyed or had your childhood the way that you wanted. And so you're kind of like angry because the older you get, the more responsibilities you have. So it's kind of like, I can't ever find that moment to just enjoy life. But you definitely need to heal the wounds that have come from, your ancestors, family trauma, things that happen, your inner child. You just really need to focus on that, because a lot of the coping mechanisms that you have for life right now came from people who did it the wrong way as well. And so maybe alcoholism runs in your family. Maybe you just watch other people in your family cope with things in a way, and you've learned to pick up these negative behaviors when things are not right in your life, and you need to heal that, because when you heal that, you're healing it for your entire family. You're healing your ancestors, and you're also healing the generations that are going to come after you, because you are showing them different. And again, that's a lot of responsibility, but this is what you were made. I mean, you were made to be able to do this. You're not being asked to do anything that you can't do. Okay? Your vibration, this is what you do. Okay? So you can do it. Heal, heal, heal. Tap into your intuition, your third eye. Connect with your inner self. Connect, just go within and start to really get to know who you are, know yourself, and tap into your intuition. Okay? That, like, your intuition and third eye is blocked a lot right now, so you really need to focus on that. All right, so when we looked at, I asked the cards to tell me what blockages are are things, what blockages you need to release for 2019. And I got the Four Swords. So what this is telling me is you need to block, your blockages right now are worry and indecision, self-doubt, hanging on to negative environments and things like that. So these things are really blocking you. So overall, if I had to sum this up, I would say what's blocking you in 2019, coming into 2019, that need to be healed is your lower vibrations. Okay, you really need to heal your low vibrations, the worry, the stress, because this is what triggers these addictions. Okay, so it's time to really let go of anything that doesn't serve your higher frequency, negative self-talk, people, ideas, thoughts, and let these things go and do the work to heal. You really need to focus on healing and seeing the abundance, okay, in your life. And don't look at your responsibilities in life and things like that as a burden. And start to look at them as a blessing, because you are blessed to be able to handle all of that. And even if you had to do this as a child, just think of how much wiser it's made you as an adult. Like, I feel like my son's gonna be able to navigate the world in such a different way than possibly my other two, because he's had so much responsibility. Because it's like I've spent most of his life teaching him. He's the kid that, goes to the store to shop for me with my debit card. He knows my PIN numbers. He know, like, the things that I teach him, I'm always preparing him for, not the words to say, but, I need you to know what I know, because if anything ever happened to me, I need you, because you're the one that I know is capable of being able to maintain certain things and know certain things. I need you to know. I need you to be able to teach your brothers and sisters. And that's a blessing. Now he's young. He sees it as somewhat of a burden. Like, I don't feel like doing all that. I just want to be a kid. But when he gets older, he's going to be prepared for life in a way that possibly my other two are not, just simply because they just are different. And so I think that he will appreciate it when he gets a little older, if he doesn't get caught up in any, negative types of behaviors. So, what's the outcome of 2019? The outcome of 2019, we got the Three of Cups with the Ten of Swords and the Five of Cups. So what I'm getting from this is the outcome: if you do the work, you begin to heal, pour some self-love into you, and take time for self-care so that you can continue to work on this healing and transformation to get you out of this, dark hole. You are definitely going to be celebrating with people who truly love you. And to me, this is where that, that domestic harmony, you and your family are going to be able to put the pieces back together and celebrate how you overcame this Ten of Swords, this worry, sadness, depression, and emotional, ups and downs, and the loneliness and the withdrawal and the addictions and things like that. Like, you're really going to be celebrating this with your family, and you're really going to see that love and domestic harmony restored for you in 2019. Okay, so your family's depending on you. And again, I know that's a lot of responsibility, but hey, that's your vibration, baby. God built you to handle it. And so just know that. And if we look, let's look here. You know, we have this card right here, your blockages, and you see here we have a lot of gray. So this indecision, the self-doubt and all that, it's like gray. You know, the sky is blue outside, but you can't see it because you're stuck in this room of like indecision and gray and cloudy and gloomy. And then when we look at the outcome cards, they're all blue skies. Okay, it's all blue skies. And so I feel like that's definitely a huge improvement, huge contrast to the blockages. But it all depends on you. And it all depends on the work that you do for 2019. Keep battling. I mean, keep, you know, healing and transforming so you can get rid of those addictions. Continue to sow seeds of self-love, and self-care so that you can reap a fruitful harvest of love within your home and your family. Okay, because they need you and you need them and you love them dearly, and you'll be okay when everything at home is okay. So until next time, Life Path 6, love and light.